Friends, I'm honored to present Side Effects, a new project from the National Credit Union Foundation about the financial crisis of cancer in America and how credit unions can best serve the members who are battling this terrible disease.
Side Effects began as a conversation between Gigi and me around her dining room table in February of 2020. She wanted to build on the Foundation's research into how credit unions and healthcare can work together to improve the lives of our members, especially those suffering from cancer. From that discussion was born this ambitious 7-part documentary series, a collection of films, essays, photos, and audio episodes that I was honored to create, each crafted to help credit unions solve a problem that's going to affect nearly all of our members in one way or another.
While this may be a hard issue to tackle, especially while still coping with COVID-19, we believe those COVID-19 health and economic challenges mirror the struggles faced by cancer patients and their families every single day. We hope that the lessons our movement has learned during the pandemic may help us show our members that we are on their side in their fight against cancer.
Thank you for watching, listening to, and sharing these stories. Welcome to Side Effects.
I live in Glidden, Wisconsin. Glidden is my hometown, so I've been here a while. It's so quiet, it's so peaceful up here. We live on a dead-end road. Everybody knows everybody. Because it grew so fast, I had no choice but to do a mastectomy. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I started chemo. In there, I was still going to nursing school. In fact, I went to nursing school, clinicals in the hospital with a drainage tube in after my mastectomy. I was actually sicker than the people that I was taking care of on the floor because they were discharged. Financially, it hit. We had good insurance, but still every surgery, every hospitalization cost $300 to $600 out of pocket, which again, when you're robbing Paul to pay Peter, that adds up. And my husband worked hourly. He was a assistant grocery manager. He ate up his vacation through everything very quickly. So loss of income there. You add the fact that we were a young family with 2 kids in diapers, and that adds to it big time. You start having to use credit cards to just get your basic necessities, especially when I was working, but had to stop because you can't work in urgent care where everybody's coming in coughing in your face when you're on chemotherapy. We just couldn't do it. I mean, we were using cards to pay mortgage, to do the necessities, and it just got to be so much, and we couldn't do it and decided to file for bankruptcy. And then decide to let the house go. That's the lowest point, is having to decide to do that. Nobody wants to. Nobody goes into this life, especially in their early 30s. I was 31. Let's file for bankruptcy. Yay, we won't have any debt. Yeah, great. Nobody does that. Our lawyer, when we went to talk to him, though, said that we are the reason there's bankruptcy laws. I mean, he and his assistant teared up, basically, when they found out what, and we had $50,000 in credit card debt. I knew after bankruptcy, everybody says 7 years. 7 years. Don't do anything within 7 years because you're not going to get it. If you can, try, but it's probably not going to happen. In fact, I have family members that are loan officers at banks in major cities and said no, they can't help me out. And they wanted to, of course, but their hands are tied. They were in big banks. My husband's like, yeah, maybe we should look at that. We knew it needed a lot of work. We knew it was a foreclosure and had been sitting empty. And you could just tell how dirty it was and, everything that needed to be done. New roof, and we knew it needed new septic and lots of work done. Plus, with our bankruptcy and foreclosure, we're like, there is no way we're going to get any money for a house, let alone to fix it up. And he said, well, my husband was more optimistic. And, well, let's give it a shot. I said, okay, call the credit union, because that's who owned it. Talk to Miranda.
I could tell that they really wanted this. They really needed a home for their family. I specifically remember her saying that when she was going through her treatments and going through what she was going through, she knew she needed to be home. When we looked at their situation, we looked at what they did before she got sick and before they filed bankruptcy. And they had a really good payment history, and you can tell that. They're purchasing a home that the credit union owned already. So there is some flexibility on the type of lending we can do in that situation. We may ask for little money down. We might be able to actually give them funds to help rehab the property, which is exactly what we did. Obviously, we want to get somebody in the home that's going to take care of it and love it like their own, I guess.
They wanted $49,500 for it or something like that. And we knew it needed about $30,000 worth of work. And again, we came to Miranda, we're like, is it worth it? What can you do? And she said, write me up a letter and explain the situation. In 2007, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My husband Nathan had to give up a part-time job and also take unpaid time off from his full-time job to take me to appointments and or care for our children. We started to fall behind on our mortgage and other debts. Put us in financial distress that led to our foreclosure and bankruptcy. We have been current on all our financial obligations. In fact, we are currently ahead 2 months on our car payment. And Nathan is pursuing a more stable career by going back to college. The feeling to know when she said we were getting, yes, it still amazed me that I'm living in Glidden. To have that joy, it just fills your heart. And definitely emotions do have an impact on physical health. And those endorphins that when I do pull into town, when I do pull in my driveway and I can say, oh, there's my house. It's not the biggest house, but it's our house and it's in Glidden, and that's amazing. What work that Miranda put in, they truly went above and beyond. To be able to look at our situation as a whole and not just a number was so vital. Being able to have the closure on our bankruptcy and have that behind us, to the fact that we could buy a house and could buy things through the credit union, emotionally you can't even describe some of it. And again, huge for healing from my cancer diagnosis and the guilt and the anger too at the diagnosis for causing all of that, the important part of our wedding vows. At least we got it out of the way.
Lending isn't just numbers. That's why I got into it. It's about people. It's about character and their drive to really want this and making sure that it makes sense for them. Everybody has a story. They got there somehow, and that the numbers are not black and white. We need to keep an open mind when we're looking at someone's situation. Us helping them financially is just as important to their road to recovery as what they're physically going through.